Hey Choose, what's up? It's Tina and I'm back with another video. I was working from home today, so that's why I'm in my beautiful Target gear before we banned Target, when they had all like that Black History um clothing lines, whatever. But I'm back with another video because something dawned on me on my mind because I went to like a coffee shop to do like my work from home, and the Lord was just putting on my mind like the thing about the Lord is that he will do things. Like the word for the day is just expect the unexpected. The Lord will do things where you're like, how does this make sense? Like this makes no sense, God. Like how, like what is happening? And you will have thoughts like that, right? But one thing I learned is that when the Lord wants you to stay in a place, he'll do everything in his power to know that you cannot leave that place. And it really dawned on me because throughout my journey leading up to now, in terms of where I am currently, I see that the Lord had held a spot for me to stay, so I don't make different paths to move out. Because when you are a very adventurous person, you're like, let's go here, let's go there. The Lord is taking me everywhere. Sometimes God wants you to stay still in a space. It could be a physical space, it could be a relationship, whatever that thing is for you. The Lord will arrange things around where you cannot leave that space because he knows you. He knows once you get to a certain point that you will just break free and come out of the alignment of the what the will of God wants for you. So he will make things apparent. Like I remember when I was here, like in my current location, I was like, Lord, if this doesn't happen tomorrow, then oh well, I'm gonna go back to wherever I want to go back to, or I'm gonna try to do something like completely new. And I kid you not, the Lord in the pink of the morning, the next day was like, no, this is where you're going to stay, right? So the Lord will make things, he will make all things new, but sometimes we think all things new means a new location. Sometimes we think it has to be a new relationship, just a new environment. But no, sometimes with the current environment you are in now, in your head, it don't make no sense because you're like, where is the fruit? And you do see little areas of the fruit coming about because there's some miraculous things that are happening that you're like, wait, what? Like this is happening, that is happening. But in the grand scheme of things, you haven't seen even the finish line or even half of the finish line. So that's why the Lord will make sure there are certain obstacles where you cannot move in a certain space for that exact reason, because he wants to gift you, he wants to shower you in that exact place where you're at now. But you would look at it like, God, you're really blocking this, aren't you? Like you had me have to go here, have to go there, have to go here, but to make sure I remain in this certain place. And the Lord will do that for you. He'll be like, you know what? I'll provide all these things as long as you stay in the place that I want you to stay in for whatever period of time that is. Now, where it comes to a part where you're like, okay, Lord, like I'm at this point now, do you still want me to stay in this place? And the Lord will confirm it for you, right? Because now he may be giving you a little bit more freedom because he knows that you know that this is where he wants you to be. But he also wants you to have free will to see if you're going to be obedient. And the Lord will definitely move the goalpost again to make sure that you stay where he wants you to stay, and he will bless you where he wants you to stay. So yeah, I'm just bringing that out there because there's a lot of messages with believers wanting to move here, move here, move there, but sometimes the Lord is like, no, I'm calling you to stay in this place regardless of what has happened. There's good and bad, But the good outweighs the bad, and I want you to stay in this place. I want you to stay in position. There's a reason why I want you to stay there. So the Lord will do like weird things where you're like, what? To us, it's weird because we're like, how is this being sequenced? We must remember, and I honestly wish more preachers, there are more sermons about how the Lord is very strategic, because sometimes we get this broad window like, yeah, the Lord can do all, and yes, he can do all things, but sometimes we think we are the master planner, that we could strategically help align where God wants us to align. Like, no, we're gonna mess up the whole thing, because every single moment, to every single day, to every single email you're sending out, to every single interaction you have with people, from the people that are in the building, that are new, out of the building, every freaking step. I'm telling you, God is ordaining it. He is arranging it around in his big strategic planner. And we cannot fathom what is happening. Like when we have someone new in our presence, when we have new people that we're dealing with that God has moved, or people that we've known for years that God has placed in our lives specifically to encourage us. We know, in day one, did we know that this was going to happen this way? Absolutely not. If we did, we would have ran off. And God knows that, right? So that's why he knows how we're going to react if we have access to certain things. So he has to make sure the time is divine, and he has to make sure that we're going to stick to the plan, because he knows, like, most of the time our response is flight or, reacting to the fear, but he wants to train you to a point where the fear does not outweigh your faith. That he says, do not be afraid multiple times. And we have to make sure that our faith, the way we practice our faith, that we're actually sticking through. We can say that we believe, but do we consciously, no matter what happens day to day, say, okay, I'm going to surrender this to you, Lord, at the end of the day? Or we still try to take matters in our own hands with physically doing something that will be out. It's okay for us to feel like we want to take control of something, but at the same time, we must not act on that. And there's times where we walk as Christians, as believers, that we do act on that emotion where we're like, no, it's going to fall apart. I must save myself now. And you do something and it's like, you just made it worse. You just made it worse. You should have just stuck to what God wanted to do and let him, play with the chessboard, like, do whatever he wants to do. So that is basically my message for today. I honestly have to title it better, but the Lord is a strategic master. So let the Lord strategically align everything together. It's going to be weird. It is. Because sometimes I'm like, God, what is happening? Like, this is good. Like, this is amazing. But like, what? Because he knows us. He knows as soon as he tells us to do something specific, we're going to be like, that doesn't make any sense. And then he's going to just be like, all right, watch this. And then we're going to be like, wait, this feels really right. Like, this feels great. Like, this is good. Like, this is really good. So the Lord knows everything that he's planning out. Like, it's very strange because sometimes you're like, ooh, but it gets normal when you start letting him really take over the wheel, and not like just for 2 months, like the rest of your life. Just let him take over everything, and everything comes beautifully aligned, and then you see yourself glowing and you're like, wow, this is amazing. So yeah, like, just continue to do that. The Lord knows you best. He knows how to strategically plan everything. The Lord is a master strategic planner. He does not need your input on the strategy. Your input on the strategy is downfall. There is no, your mind is not going to help anything. Like, just keep that in mind. Like, as soon as you keep that in mind, things will get better. Like, just make sure you know that you are incompetent in that area. So thank you, Trues. It was nice speaking to you guys. Next time.